Colleagues, greetings to you. My name is Anton Soborov. I'm glad to see you in the new course. I invite you to take it. This is a course on targeted advertising. It will consist of 3 parts. This is the first part, Introductory Basic, which will be 100% useful to you if you want to master advertising management tools such as Facebook targeting, Instagram, and others. Please come to the course. I will be glad to see you there. Let me tell you briefly about myself. In 2006, I managed an agency in the field of marketing. There are thousands of positive feedback on YouTube, Udemy, my Telegram channel, and various other social networks. Therefore, I sincerely hope that I can be trusted and the quality of my content is high enough. I offer all my courses for free without asking for any additional money. But thank you for making donations, supporting my media, my courses, and what I do for you. The details will be provided in the description of this video. The link is accessible and you can proceed to the money transfer tool by using the cover code. We appreciate your advance gratitude and acknowledge that, thanks to this, new courses are consistently being released on a frequent basis. So in the first part, colleagues, we will examine what a target is, what targeted advertising is, and examine its examples. We will definitely consider such a specialty as a targetologist. Let's see how much he can earn and whether it is really possible to earn from $1,000 and more. Let's examine the recommendations on how a targetologist should develop, which books to read in order to make progress and move forward. I will create a development plan for you for the next 6 months with the aim of helping you grow into a highly confident and skilled specialist. Let's look at the algorithms of platforms together, how they show us, advertising formats. In general, you can already see that there will be a lot of useful things within this course, within this part. So let's not delay, let's start. So what is targeted advertising? This is a very important question which we need to understand, and the easiest way to show it to us is when we look. This is an example from screenshots on the left from Facebook, on the right from Instagram, where we see a checkmark, sponsored or advertisement, and accordingly we see that the advertisement is being served to us. We always wonder why this happens, why I am shown this or that advertisement. This is a question that algorithms answer, which we will also answer today. In fact, targeted advertising consists of 3 components. We have data that the social network possesses. Most often these are data about us, about our behavior, what we watch, where we go, what we like, what we are interested in. We possess an additional variable of video advertisers who desire to connect with this audience and arrive to compensate for advertising. And in accordance with this, we receive promotional posts, TikToks, and other similar types of content, which is presented to us as the end user in order to cater to our preferences and interests. In actuality, the social network simply sells our data and permits us to showcase some relevant advertisements in order to cater to the needs of the advertiser. Everything is very easy, money solves everything, but smart algorithms of social networks allow you to set up advertising very precisely and interestingly for the target audience. Thus, Target is one of the excellent trendy tools that I highly recommend for you to utilize in your practice. I have a deep love for meta tools. I firmly believe that the most relevant and fascinating ones are those that enable displaying cool and interesting advertising to the target audience. Doing this is not very expensive, so our course will be mainly built around meta tools, Facebook, Instagram, and others. Let's see what Target enables businesses to do. These are some of the crucial things worth observing. First, it is to bring a new audience to your business in the form of subscribers, in the form of customers. Today, there are different strategies. This is what many people want. I want to reach a new audience, expand the top of the marketing funnel, yes, attract more audience. The second thing that logically comes, and most businesses want, is to increase sales. The target doesn't always directly impact this, as it's usually the top of the funnel and only contacts the audience. And then a lot of things depend on your product, on the conversion of sales or your website, if you have such a self-service model. Accordingly, after that, how the implementation of the product, its shipment, and so on are going for you. There are numerous introductions, but in reality, the objective is one of the components that contribute to increasing sales for the business. One of the fascinating aspects is when a business operates for many years, spanning decades, and has a large number of potentially dormant users who once interacted with and used the product. So target is one of the tools to engage this sleepy audience in contact, involve them in working with your media. Suppose in Instagram there is more interest, the number of likes, comments from this audience. Alternatively, on the other hand, you can remind yourself after a period of time and engage with this audience once more. Yes, let's say, oh guys, we have updated a new catalog, let's go, everything will be fine. Well, here it is. This is also a format that works. Therefore, you see, it's very cool, and it's one of those quite organic ways to interact with the audience, to naturally appear in their popular social networks, which our audience uses. The next point many people are interested in is the number of subscribers in a social network. Whether it's YouTube, Instagram, VK, Telegram, and more, all of them allow you to build an audience using target, including the subscriber base. This is one of those things that many brands actively utilize, and I highly recommend utilizing it to you because it is one of the tools for expanding the audience. However, once again, you must begin by identifying your objectives in relation to targeted advertising. These slides additionally demonstrate the information you desire. Sales, user engagement, total number of subscribers, and reactivations of users for analysis and tracking purposes. Check the hypotheses. When entering new markets, one of the main tasks is to test it, and Target enables you to do it quite rapidly. Proceed to the market, examine the audience, interact with different segments, observe if there is a response, and then make a decision regarding scaling up. Here is a fairly harmonious strategy that allows you to do this. Therefore, be sure to try it. It's a very cool story. Logical story. Yes, it is indeed a new market, as I already mentioned. And finally, initiate lead generation for the specific segment that you are interested in. If you work in B2B, targeted advertising will also suit you. If you work in the B2C segment, when you work with end users, individuals, then the target is, so to speak, a profession doctor. Let's discuss the importance of targeted advertising in the year 2024 and beyond, and its continued relevance. I will briefly mention that the relevance is extremely high. It is true because it is one of the effective tools for attracting an audience, which enables you to enhance sales, boost activity in your media, and attract new subscribers to your platform. Sites strongly depend on the geography where you are going, and I will give recommendations. Suppose if we talk about the Russian-speaking space, it's VKontakte and Odnoklassniki. When considering the global perspective, the meta tools that come to mind are TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, the former Twitter, and various other platforms and services. Hence, we select platforms from the audience, and this is a fundamental aspect. It represents an audit. Ad algorithms evolve as tech develops, AI is connected. We'll discuss in next part. You must stay, watch the continuation of this course for more insights and valuable information. And this is one of the reasons why the tool becomes more effective. It's very cool, it pleases me as a marketer, and I actively follow and test it too. Fifth point, the number of users in social networks is growing. They are switching from one to another. But overall, as the internet develops and expands, so do the opportunities for targeted advertising in terms of reach and engagement with specific audiences. Artificial intelligence. This is the thing that evolves along with all technologies because it is technology, and it is also actively going in the target when the tools themselves allow you to generate creatives, either texts or independently configure advertising for you. This is the real one that already exists and will be further developed. We are closely monitoring it. The course also informs about how to be a targetologist. Let's redirect our focus to our preferred artificial intelligence assistant in the GPT chat in order for us to see the recommendations, and I, as an expert with a 16-year experience, I will provide a comment. Let's commence our discussion with literature for a targetologist. When addressing GPT, I asked to select literature here that will help in the development of this direction. You have a total of 9 tools in front of you, and all of them are quite serious. Books on work available in hardcover. Perry Marshall, Brian Carter, Tim Nash, and Brad Geddes are the experts in their respective fields. I highly recommend taking them on a pencil and watching to make your work easier, especially reading it in a language that may be for you are not native. The same chat GPK helps us get all the water. Assuming we can make a quick squeeze of the theses from the book Perry Marshall's Ultimate Guide to Facebook Advertising. And these are 10 points that allow you to understand what to pay attention to and develop, continuing to work further within them for progress. Prompt and immersing yourself already inside this topic, you can, roughly speaking, fully study the book with all its features and understand how to use the Perry Marshall experience, which he describes in his book, in order to develop. This will not replace, of course, reading a book, because if you recall, many of you likely read books in abbreviated form during your school years. However, it nonetheless imparts a solid foundational knowledge, allowing you to quickly grasp the methodology and gain a good understanding of the subject matter. Now we move on to reviewing platforms, opportunities on advertising platforms. I will demonstrate it briefly, as I believe a number of you are already familiar with it. The social media platform Facebook, where we encounter advertisements that are displayed in the center of the screen, is financially supported, genetic passport, everything is fairly straightforward. The VKontakte social network, Russian speaking, where we also see advertising in the left block and in the middle, which is shown to us accordingly. We have the ability to interact with her on a regular basis. The social network LinkedIn, where sponsored content is also seen, is displayed in the middle and right blocks, and it also interacts with us as a potential audience on the platform. On Instagram, we observe advertising in Valentina's stories, and she is also attempting to encourage us to participate in some activities. And TikTok is a paid, patched video that we are shipped, which we can go on the site, order something, and so on. Overall, advertising is similar, visual, and charming. Therefore, in addition to setting up the technical audience, we need to configure the creative, so this is also important to use in order to maximize its charm. Now let's discuss algorithms. Platforms, what the entire technical component depends on, how we configure it. I will provide you with several options. The initial option is a substantial collection of behavior where we can utilize this data as a starting point. Visiting websites, subscribing to content, and so on. We pass all this information to the advertising account. And accordingly, based on this info, we make adjustments to our targeted advertising. Assuming we have knowledge that an individual was interested in or purchased costly yachts, we can focus on that information. We know that a person is sitting on an iPhone 15 Pro. We can tune into that. We can subscribe to content. Let's say we want to show ads to our subscribers on Instagram. Accordingly, the entire story is in the behavior section. Social demographic data presented here include fundamental information about age and the presence of children. Filters naturally vary from platform to platform, but in general the mechanics are similar. There are a considerable number of data sources here. Your client's contacts. Knowing the phone number and email, you can set up advertising targeting for this audience. Actions in app. For frequent users or those who want to re-engage inactive ones, this is also crucial and important. Actions in your catalog. People would go, for example, to Facebook catalogs and look at some activities. Activity. What individuals visited your store and you relate this information. Video of data loading inside the platform's interface. Actions performed on the site. Individuals visited specific pages, explored sections of your website, or maybe completed transactions. Actions with video. People watched the video up to 25%, half more, halves, and so on. We can also configure all of these and display advertisements to this specific audience. Profile tasks. Visitors to your Instagram. Here is a good target on which you can advertise and set up. Filling out lead form when applications submitted. Accordingly, we want to attract more activity with them. For instance, execute 2-stage or 3-stage completions. Initially, activate the lead form, then proceed to warm up. Or do it a little bit the other way around. Advertising formats. I will show several basic formats that are used on almost all platforms. The first is an ad in the feed. For instance, advertising Meta on Facebook. Meta advertises within its own platform. Yes, that's what advertising looks like. We have a header, you can go to the profile, we see a description, we see creative, we see social tags at the bottom. More than 500 people liked this post. There are still comments. By the way, don't forget to respond to comments under advertising posts. Your real customers may often be hiding there. Advertising in stories. Stories are utilized on all platforms. These are illustrations from Instagram, where we have the option to go to Shop Now or Learn More. We can proceed to the platform, study, apply, and more. Lead forms when you complete the questionnaire contained within social networks without going. The website and other media allow it to. It is good to attract an audience at early stages using only the platform itself and not relying on the conversion of your website. Good tool, I recommend it, it works well, but as I have already mentioned before, there are scams, fakes, so unfortunately it depends on the geography where you launch it. Advertising video is a well-liked narrative, let's say, to exhibit a video on TikTok or Facebook with the aim of reaching a wide-ranging audience. Capture and captivate attention to your brand. Utilize carousel feature. Within the carousel you can show a lot. Cards. And with each individual card there is an opportunity. Set a target action for a specific activity. Let's say we translate here on the website. Here we display shoes. Here we display a dress, thus to engage the audience. Canvas or Holst is one of the methods to exhibit visually stunning objects within, let's say, Facebook, and in doing so, effectively connect with the audience and expand the reach of the content. In general, many platforms strive not to overlook creativity, and this is also crucial. Employ these unconventional tools instead of standard ones for the best results. The main issue is if a targetologist can make money, $1,000 and more. Let's provide a response. We will ensure it is in the appropriate format as required. What skills? What introduction? So a payment of $1,000 is required. Fact, first, it's expertise in the niche. If you specialize, for instance, in the e-commerce market or in the business-to-business market, or for instance, in the beauty industry, then the opportunity to earn substantial amounts in targeted advertising increases because you specialize in a specific niche. Plus and minus. Downside funnel exists. It narrows a bit as someone, let's say from education, which you're in, comes to you. Merely a distinct direction, and you ought to refuse him completely. Secondly, do you possess any cases within this industry or within this sector of the economy that you can share with us? Accordingly, if you have a lot of cool target cases, it will be an undeniable advantage and it will help you earn more. If you guarantee the result, options. There is also, for instance, based on traffic volume or based on cost, that is based on some such goals, that is an opportunity to earn a significant amount. More because client is interested. He sees it as a result. If you have an upgraded old-fashioned radio and the client passes you hand in hand, yes, accordingly recommends you to his colleagues as well, without hesitation. An incredible narrative that is highly effective, allowing you to enhance your value as a specialist. You have a personal brand, pumped up, you have Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, something else, and thanks to this, you again. You can increase your value as a specialist employee. And finally, do you possess a stable lead gen that enables you to have a broad portion of the Foronka from above and accordingly extract from it that which you are interested in? And 4, ensure the bill remains at a high level. There are 6 points here that allow you to sell yourself at a high price. There are chances for this, they exist practically in all locations, so there is no need to stop. So just download, develop. Colleagues, we are concluding the initial section. If she was beneficial to you, you acquired new knowledge, I will be pleased to receive your support via donation. In the next part, we'll discuss strategy, how AI helps in targeting with artificial intelligence. We will create advertising materials using artificial intelligence, thus remain in